it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty, to throw off such government and to provide new gods for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation, till his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless those people would relinquish their right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has called together a legislative body that places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records, for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. He has refused for a long time, after such dissolutions, to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative power, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of land. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amounts and payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. He has kept among us, in times of peace, standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states, for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, for abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government, and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies, for taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our government, for suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burned our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the work of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy, scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens, taken captive on the high seas, to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. He has excited domestic insurrections among us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an indistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our emigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and of consanguinity. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation, and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace friends. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of a right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Love that. Love it. What's up, guys? It is Monday, April 21st, 2025. Real quick, guys, we are at the Bitcoin Onchain. Let me get it on up of 893,424. TikTok, next block. I hope everybody had a good, happy Easter. What's up, EB? Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Joe, how are you, sir? Joe? Hello, EB. Yes. Glad to hear it. Thank you. Clean your machine. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, was the Declaration of Independence read by one of my favorite people of all time. Obviously, one of my favorite presidents. That's the late, great John F. Kennedy. And that document means a lot to me. And obviously, that president means a lot to me. And that's what Satoshi Nakamoto did with the great white paper. He declared his independence from this tyranny of monetary policy. What's up, Clean Your Machine? How are you, sir? Let me get everybody on the wheel of Satoshi. Curtis, how are you? I got you on the wheel as well. Mia from the Bitcoin Gospel. Let me do that real quick. Make sure you guys subscribe to Mia from the Bitcoin Gospel. She is one of our famous YouTubers here. Here's a link to her video. Make sure you guys go over there and just subscribe to her. It's right there in the description box. Great young lady, and she makes great videos. I'm good, man. Thank you, Joe. Hello, all. Yes, she says smash the like button. Yes, 7 p.m. Woo, yes, sir. Corey, how are you, sir? Corey from Got Sats. Here is his channel right here. Corey's been shouting me out a lot, man. I appreciate that, man. I got to pay you for all the marketing you're giving me. He has a great channel. Here's the link to his video. And again, I hope all you guys make YouTube channels. I really do. He makes a video every day, 7 days a week. You know what I mean? He buys Bitcoin every single day. He is the ultimate, I call, DCAer, dollar cost average. So make sure you go over to Corey channel for Corey Got Sats. Let me put him on the wheel. Thanks for coming in, Corey. Thanks for the shout outs, man, and the marketing. I really appreciate that, man. And then also we have Joe, I Summon Satoshi. He's the guy, him and his wife are behind the scenes running the channel. I really appreciate that. Much love to them, to that family. Corey, yes. Danielle, how are you, Danielle? Let me put you on the wheel here. Nice to see you, ma'am. Try to get through these comments. You're not a new face. I seen you the other day. Appreciate it. Maggie, she's here. She is here. We could start the show now. Maggie is here. How are you, Megs? Me and Megs had a good talk this weekend. Really good talk. Love Megan, man. I love it. Love JFK. Yeah, me too. Me too, Mia. Thank you, Jerry. No problem. No problem. Hello, everyone. Clean your machine. Emily is here. Happy Monday. How was everybody's Easter? I really had a good time with some family here. I really did. Finger picked. Hello, Bitcoiners. Finger picked is real, correct? I think he is. How are you, finger picked? What's happening, Jerry? How are you, David? Let me put you on the wheel, finger picked and and David. Also want to put you guys on the map, if you don't mind. Finger picked, David. But I would suggest, again, maybe you guys shouldn't use your full names, maybe. I don't want anybody to dox themselves. VAW, what's up, bro? That Discord chat is the Wild Wild West. Love it. Greetings, everyone. Good looking bunch of savages. Yeah. That that Easter Sunday chat was quite wild. Thanks for coming in, VAW. We love you, man. We love you. Good to see you, brother. We're going to continue on with episode number 10 of the Hidden Secrets of Money today. So hopping, yes, very yes. Drop a like and give a share. Remember, it's free. Yes, it's free 99, guys. Thank you. I'm great. Busy weekend. Good, man. Good. Bitcoin Pananda. What's up? That must be Tori, huh? How are you, Tori? It looks like you changed your name. Good to see you, ma'am. Good to see you. I got Tori on here. Am I missing anybody on the wheel, first of all? We got Joe, Tori, EB, Curtis, Clean Your Machine, Mia, Corey from Got Sats, Danielle, Maggie, Emily, Fingerpicked, David, VAW. I got 13 on the wheel, but there's 19 people in here. So who am I missing? We got some window shoppers in the back that are being awfully quiet. So, but while we're doing that, let's take a look at our incredible map of Bitcoiners for freedom. Here it is right here. And, I don't want to dox anybody or nothing like that, but I like to add people that are coming in to Buck 52. What's up, brother? Yo. Jerry, Bitcoin Panda is Tori. I figured that. Bitcoin Panda. Okay, got it. I want to add you guys to the map, if you don't mind. Only if you don't mind. And who's not on here? I don't think Curtis is on here. Curtis, if you don't mind, can you drop your city and state? Again, not your address, just your city and state. And I highly suggest maybe you don't use your whole name because I don't want anybody stalking you down, man. That's all. It's Tori, Jerry. Yes, I got you. Thank you. And this is the map right here. I absolutely love this. We're getting bigger and bigger. We're neighbors and we're spreading the love throughout this great nation. And we got people all on the East Coast, all on the West Coast. We're missing some Midwest here. But we're going to fill it in. And we're very close. Look at that, guys. We're all close together. And we're hanging out. Buck 52, if you don't mind, brother, can you drop your city and state, please and thank you? $1.52. Good to see you, brother. How was your Easter? Thank God you came. Southwest Michigan. Okay. Southwest Michigan. All right. So let's see, Michigan. Let me put that on here, brother. Michigan. Michigan, U.S. state. So Southwest. So that's not South. This is South. So we put you down here somewhere. Right? That's South. That's West. Put you right here, $1.52. Somewhere around there. Appreciate you, brother. And if anybody else wants to give their city and state, that's fine. If you want to just give me an area, that's fine. We just want to make sure we get everybody on here. So just in case, we got some Bitcoiners in your area, we can, hook up, maybe go see a movie or get a cup of coffee together. And, we're all family here, man. We're all family. Appreciate it. Good, man. Good. Curtis, what area of the country you live in, if you don't mind me asking? If you don't want to tell, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. But I want to give a roll call here real quick. This is what we got on the map. We got Bangarang out there in, let's see. Bangarang is in, where's this young man at? I think he's in, where's this? What state is this? I'm so bad with the maps. Is it Idaho or Idaho? I think I'm the hoe. I'm not the hoe. I love it, man. And we're not that far apart. We're not that far apart. And we're all together here, man. We're all together here. And I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. Joe and Tori are in Philadelphia, the great Philadelphia. When them boys went down there in the Founding Fathers. What's up, brother? What's up? I'm in space, baby. Yes, you are. Yes, you are in space. And Philadelphia is where they came down for the Congressional Congress and made that Constitution, Declaration of Independence, and got our country going, man. Snowing all day in Calgary. Clean your machine. I cannot leave you out of here, brother. He is one of our great Canadians here in Calgary. Let's pull him up real quick. I don't want anybody to feel like they're left out here. Even though he's not in America, he's still very important, man, because we're all brothers and sisters, man. And boom, right there, Calgary. Love it, man. I've never been there. Never been there. Right above Montana. He said it's snowing. It's nowhere near snowing here, brother. Nowhere near snowing here. So yeah, this map is incredible. It's great. And let me zoom out so we can see Clean Your Machine. And Jor too. When Jor comes in, we'll put him on there. Matt FRL, he's in Canada too. So we're gonna do a spin here. Here right about now, actually. Let's see where we're at. So, am I missing anybody on this wheel, ladies and gentlemen? Enjoying the group chat, I see. Yeah, a lot of drama on Easter Sunday in our group. And speaking of the group, if you guys would like to join our Bitcoiners for Freedom kind of Discord signal group, there should be a link somewhere, Joe. And it's $1 a month starting May 1st, and you get to see some pretty interesting conversations outside of Bitcoin. We want to use decorum and everything, but I'm all about free speech, so I don't try to tell anybody what to say or anything like that. But we want to have decorum and make sure everybody is respectful. You know what I mean? And we're all getting along. Sometimes we spat a little bit over there, but it's all good. It's all good. So, all right, so let's spin this wheel real quick. VAW, bro, Wild West. You guys have me dying laughing. You and Tori and the Roast King are the roast King and Queen. Hilarious, yeah. There's a link right there for the Discord. Download the Signal app on your phone and then go there and put an invite in, and you will be part of the group. So, all All right, am I missing anybody on this wheel, ladies and gentlemen? VAW buck 52. There's 21 people in here. There's only 14 on the wheel. So somebody is window shopping in the back and don't want to be seen, which is fine. But we want to get you some free sats. This is a 100 sat spin. And we want to get you on here. Ruffin, North Carolina. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Ruffin, North Carolina. Let's see where that is. Let's see if that's near Monique. Ruffin, North Carolina. Curtis. Oh, you're right there next to Scorpion. Scorpion Metals. Great, man. Thanks for sharing. Curtis. So you're on the East Coast too. Okay. So I don't want to make this this stream too late. Thank you so much for doing that, Curtis. I appreciate it. Let's zoom out. Look how close you are to Scorpion, man. Look at that. You guys are freaking neighbors, man. That is not far at all. And again, Tori and Joe are from the great state of Pennsylvania and the wonderful city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Again, such a historic city, man. I love Philadelphia and everything they did for this country, the United States of America. So I appreciate it. So, all right, so let's spin the wheel. Speak now, forever hold your peace. The guys in the back that are window shopping. If you want 100 sats, you can get them. So let me know. So this is for block 424. So let's get it. Good luck. Let's spin it to win it. VW. VAW. Congratulations, sir. For block 424. I haven't eaten today, guys, and I am hungry. I'm starting to get hungry, so I'm going to drink this water. Yo, what's crazy is this block right here, 424, if you see it, it was mined 55 minutes ago. So 56 minutes now. And usually it's about 10 minutes, so the difficulty must be pretty high right now to mine this block. So again, we'll be spinning every time a block comes out, and the fees, as you can see, are a little high today. So yeah, but that's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes. So congratulations to VAW. VAW, what would you like to do with your sats, sir? Let me know. Now, by a show of hands, real quick, guys, because if you guys didn't come to the last live stream, I pretty much threw everything out the window. I was doing episode 10, and I have 5 parts to that. Okay, and I played the first part on Friday, but then I scrapped it and didn't play it. Do you guys want me to play part 1 again, or do you want me to go to part 2? By a show of hands, just put part 1 if you want me to show part 1. But if you want me to put on part 2, put on part 2, and whatever the majority wins. So let me know. Sorry, guys. These comments were coming in late. Sorry. Thank you, brother. That means a lot. I like to think I got jokes. I used to be fat, so I had to be funny. Yeah, you are funny, man. Curtis, you can call me Peanut. Okay, cool. Peanut. Let me put you in here as Peanut. Yeah, let me put you in here as Peanut, brother. Curtis, put you in here as Peanut. But your name is popping up as Curtis, your last name. But I'll put you in here, brother. Curtis Peanut. So yeah, if you want me to play part 1 again, just put part 1. If you don't, put part 2. Please and thank you. Okay. Call me Peanut. Bitcoin. LMA, thank you, Jerry. You sorry, everyone, if I don't reply for a while. I'm listening while I'm cleaning the roast castle. Okay. We can't see the map. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. There's the map right there. The comments came in late. Sorry about that. Yeah. Bitcoin Panda, yes. VW, congrats. I missed the woo. I'm sorry. Okay, part 2. We got one part 2. So you want me to play part 2? You want me to play part 1? You want me to play part 1? Okay, so we got 3 part 1s and 1 part 2. Tell me in the comments, do you want me to play part 1 or you want me to play part 2? Emily, let me know because you're new too, ma'am. Mia, let me know. Please and thank you. Curtis, let me know because some of you guys weren't even here. Part 1's really good too, by the way. I just don't want to be redundant to the to the people that already watched it. But again, if you watched it already, it's good to watch it again because it was really, really good. So what do you think, Emily? Part one, part one, play part one. There we go. Looks like it's gonna be part one. Well, let me know, guys. And while we're doing that, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the Bitcoin price today, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we have gone up a little bit. Part one. Okay, cool. It looks like it's going to be part one. Okay, I'll play part one. Looks like the middle of the U.S. needs to have some Bitcoiners. Yes. Hey, Mia. Part one. Okay, cool. We'll do part one then. And we'll just start from the beginning. It's 5 parts. They're a few minutes long, and we'll go through it. And it's really, really good. This is the final episode number 10 of the Hidden Secrets of Money. And again, it's really, really good. This is part 2 of that part 10 part we watched on Thursday. But yeah, as you can see, guys, let me part one. Okay, it's definitely part one. Cool. I'm glad I asked. Majority rules, man. This is a real democracy over here, right? 21 viewers, 12 likes. Come on, guys. Again, these are rookie numbers. Smash that thing, please, and thank you. Thank you, Joe. Hey, BTC Panda. I like the new name, Tori. It's a really cool name. So, there we're at right here. Obviously, we all know the Bitcoin's price is predicated on a couple of things, obviously. But the main thing is predicated on when you're in the United States of America, because it's denominated in cut bucks, US dollars. Because right now we're at 87,300. It's denominated in what we call USD, the Dixie, right? The dollar index. And as you can see, it's at 98, which is very, very low in comparison. I'm at Scorpion's house. You might as well be. You probably are too. Everybody's over there. Thank you, Jerry. I think it's suiting. Yes, it is suiting. It is very suiting. Curtis, are you really at Scorpion's house? Because he has a lot of people over there. Scorpion's wife is my sister. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Thank you, Jerry. Yeah. Let me see the map again. Okay, cool, man. Well, it's a different address. I mean, it's a different city and a different state, I believe, right? But yeah, you guys are right next to each other, but you're over there. So cool. You guys are together. Speaking of that, where's my boy Rudy? Party at Squirrel. Oh God, he's got plenty of people at his house. Curtis, where's Rudy and Scorpion? We need to get them up in here too. But anyways, guys, go back to this. The Dixie is falling. We got a couple reasons for that. And a lot of people are scared about the tariffs. Obviously, a lot of people are on dot. Yeah, it does look good. It does. Hold on, let me take this off again. Share screen. Looks beautiful. Beautiful. Love it. Love it. So cool, family Bitcoin. Yes. Come on, we feed 10 to 15 a night anyways. Yes. And the Fed, exactly. And that's what's going on. A lot of fear and uncertainty in the markets. Because again, the newbies or the sheeple or the regular folks don't understand what Bitcoin is, right? So they're, scared about the fiat stuff and ending Jerome Powell's quote unquote Federal Reserve, which is not federal and don't have any reserves job to be good to see you. Yes. And they don't understand what's going on. And a lot of people are selling off. The dollar is not a safe place right now for a lot of people. That's right. And the Fed and the corruption. Yes, we need to. And the thing is, Trump knows this, but you can't tell regular sheeples this stuff, man. Larry Fink said something today about getting out of the US dollar. Joe was telling me earlier. And it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm loving this map, man. I just love looking at this. Let me square it off. Let me square it off. Mia, this reminds me of you, right? You fly all over the country. Mia goes everywhere. Wish we had Letha and Paul in here. I don't know where they're at. But yeah, so let's see if we can do another spin. Am I missing anybody, by the way, on the wheel? Because again, there's 21 people in here. There's only 14 on the wheel. A lot of people are not saying anything, and I think I know who a couple of them are. We'll need to be on some land together of army of coiners. Yes, clean your machine. You need red mark. It's hard to see the blue. Okay, thank you for telling me that. I don't know how to change it. Edit. Don't know how to change it to red. Let me see. Oh, yes, I do. Here we go. Thank you, clean your machine. Change it to red. Did that work? Oh, it's still blue. Upload custom icon. No. Yeah, it won't let me change it unless somebody knows how to do it and tell me how to do it. If anybody down in the comment section can show me to do it, let me know. Yeah, blue is harder to see because of the green stuff like that. But let me know. I'd love to make it red or make it orange for Bitcoin, like David says. Sharper, what's up, my brother? I knew you was here. Back there doing dang on push-ups, man. Can't do that many push-ups in a row. Good to see you, brother. Buck 50, it's dumb that we have to study money because the government is stealing from us. Yes. Oh, my God. I wasn't even showing the map the whole time. Exactly. Whole ball as well. Yes. Skip me on the wheel. I will be in and out. Okay. Sharper, hey. I runs New York. What up, my brother? How are you, sir? Put you on the wheel, man. Put you on the wheel. I runs New York. Out there in Brooklyn. VAW. Silence is golden at time, my brother. Good to see you. Yes. Yes. Make it orange for Bitcoin. I wish I could. Anybody knows how to do that, let me know. Just doing my push. I already know, bro. I already know, man. Salute, my brother. Yeah, orange. Yes, that would be dope. Incoming, Jerry. What the hell is this? You received 1,000 sats. Why Joe? Why tip your host, everyone? Joe, why you doing that, Joe? Thank you, Joe. Joe just sent in 1,000 sats. I don't understand why he did that, Joe. Thank you so much. That was completely unnecessary, sir. Little Bitcoins on the map. Joe can help you with that. Yeah. VW. Alex. This is my goddaughter, ladies and gentlemen. Say hi to Alex. She is here. I'm going to put her on the wheel. We love her. Alex and her little cute little baby, Savannah. How are you, Alex? We love you. You know I love you. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Curtis, yes. So somebody's going to show me how to do this. Oh man, if we could put a Bitcoin B on there. Ooh, that would be nice. Alex, I'm going to put you on the map too. I know where Alex is at. Alex. Oh, whoops. I'll put Ogden. Ogden, New York. Boom. That is Alex and her lovely family. Alex. We love you, Al. Boom. We got you on the map now. Alexandria. Hey, Alex. Quantum, what's up, my brother? Sitting in the back all quiet. How are you, sir? Quantum Bitcoin. He's part of our group, too. Our Bitcoiners for Freedom. Quantum Bitcoin. I'm glad he changed that name. Thank you very much, sir. Quantum. Alex, hey, everyone. Hi, Alex, from Emily. Joe can't help himself. He sure can. BBK at your house, at our house, Jerry. Come over. Oh, boy. I know you got some heck of a burgers over there. All right. So we are looking good on this wheel. We got 18 on here now. Good. We have people hiding in the back. And let me see if a block came out. Block came out. No, my goodness. Look at this, guys. 68 minutes. They can't figure this one out. You guys better turn on your bid axes and turn on your ASICs and mine 425s, you can get that 3.125 Bitcoin. That'd be great. My brother. Doing good, brother. Good, man. Good. Good. Let's zoom out on this map. Freaking love this map, man. Love it. Alex is obviously from my hometown, Rochester, New York. Went to high school right in that area where she lives. And this map is looking good, man. It almost brings a tear to my eye. Really does. It's this wonderful, wonderful nation we live in. Love it, man. Love it. ISS burgers last night. Tonight, tomahawk. Oh, my goodness. No, tonight is tomahawk. My goodness, I love tomahawks. I love them. I got all my miners full steam ahead. For real, guys. For real. Uh-oh, something came in here. Hold on. You just received 2,500 sats. 2,500 sats. And when I get 2,500 sats, thank you so much. That is definitely from Clean Your Machine. Clean Your Machine. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, Ian. I'm going to call you Ian. Thank you, Ian. I really, really appreciate that, man. Seriously. You're changing my family's lineage with that, man. Too kind, brother. Thank you. I'll make you one, Jerry, I promise. Oh, God. Don't promise that because I'm hungry right now. So, all right. So, this block has still not come out. So let's start episode number 10, the final installment of this. And let's get into it. And when we take a break from it, we'll do some spinning. So without further ado, episode number 10, part 2 of The Hidden Secrets of Money.
We started a timeline that chronicled the parallels between the ancient Roman Empire and the United States of America today. When we left off, the Roman Empire was deteriorating thanks to the inflation caused by deficit spending on war and public works. Their government was constantly making things worse by meddling with their economy. Now, their empire was stretched to its limit and under constant attack from barbarians. The ongoing cost of war, plus the huge amounts of deficit spending, was bringing Rome to its knees. Now we're going to continue our journey through to the fall of Rome and learn of more striking parallels with the United States along the way. The Romans were the first culture to have social programs. The Athenians had great public works, and they had the expense of war. But in Rome, they had the expense of all their great public works, they had the expense of massive armies occupying foreign lands, and they had the expense of social programs. During the end of the Roman Empire, Rome's population was approximately 1 million people, and 200,000 of them, 20%, were receiving daily distributions of wheat. That's welfare. As their empire decayed,
That's exactly what they do right now. When they gave out things for free, that wheat they gave out, that is welfare, like you said. Absolutely. You know? Thank you, Ian. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. And that's what they did back then. And they're going to talk about that. The bread and circus situation. Oh, here goes the troll. True Pies starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. True Pies starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Don't you mean True Lies starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, the troll? Because I don't think that's a movie, sir. But thank you. So the EBT card has been in effect forever. Yes, VAW. Absolutely. Bread and circus. Yeah, we're going to get into that in a minute. Yes. But yeah, the troll, True Pies starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't think that's a movie, sir, but thank you for letting us know that.
Roman leaders employed a tactic called bread and circus to keep the public distracted and placated. The bread refers to the free grain, also known as the dole, and circus translates to the games that would be held here in the Colosseum with free food, wine, and rather violent entertainment. I find it absolutely fascinating to try to imagine what was happening here nearly 2,000 years ago. These seats would have been filled with people eating and drinking, many would be yelling for their favorite gladiator, and a good portion of the audience would have been mindlessly drunk. The emperors and elite watching from up on high? What a scene! So the Colosseum is a great example of both the huge expense of Roman public works and the endless deficit spending they carried out to pay for supposedly free stuff. But is there such a thing as a free lunch?
We all know the answer is no, right? There's no free lunch. Just like the stimmies they gave out. Hey, Rudy, what's up, my brother? How are you, sir? Let me put you on the wheel. How you guys doing, man? You working with Scorpion or what? Good to see you, man. And nothing's for free. Nothing in life is for free, really. Thank everyone for being here with us. You are all helping share this message. Bless you all. Yes. Thank you for saying that, Joe. Absolutely. Verb nailed it. Now the dollar becomes the paper food stamp. Yes, guys. Yes. These stimmies and all this stuff they give out for free, again, you're going to pay for it on the back end through what? Debasement, a.k.a. inflation. My brother. I thought we were done with the Roots documentaries. This is way before Roots, the troll. So, no. What's good, brother? Not today, Wednesday. Okay. Is your internet connection good? Hopefully we can do that, and you don't have to drop the videos. So yeah, so nothing in life is for free, and all this right here, the bread and circus. Here's some free stuff when prices go up, and here's a circus to distract you from your pain. Right? NBA playoffs are on right now. NHL playoffs are on right now. What is all that for? Bread and circus, ladies and gentlemen. The circus. Wow, the troll, you are shout out. Wow, the troll, you are shout out. Yes.
Breads and circuses give away oil, give away grains, and give away wine, and people would love you. When they conquered Egypt, by golly, that was a lot of grain you could give away. But what it did was destroy the economy. And when you put in the taxation to pay for it all, what it did was destroy the small farmer. And so the wealth creation that would enable you to do these things went by the boards. And
did you guys peep that? The farmer works his butt off to do that, and then the military comes in and takes all his stuff. So again, it ain't free, guys. On the back end, look at this.
So the wealth creation that would enable you to do these things went by the boards, and so it became a vicious cycle.
So now let's continue.
Let's take a listen to the great William Cooper. This was from 20 plus years ago. He talks exactly what they're talking about here with the bread and circus. And he really breaks it down. And again, unfortunately, he's not here with us today. A lot of people have their thoughts on that. But let me play the great William Cooper and his thoughts about the bread and circus situation.
Things you don't write about and you don't talk about because you'll lose your job. And that's where the control is. And that's why they pay anchormen like Dan Rather $2 million a year. Because he doesn't question them. He knows that if he goes against them, he's going to lose $2 million a year. Do you think a man that looks pretty and sits in front of a TV camera for the 6 o'clock news is worth $2 million a year? No way. I don't care how long he works and I don't care what he does. There is no job worth $2 million a year. That's why they pay athletes these fantastic salaries. I was listening to the radio the other day. They just contracted to pay one player on one team $6 million a year. Can you believe this?
And why is that?
It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum. And he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world, so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated, so they don't ever question the emperor. That's why they pay a player on a football team or a baseball team $1 million or $2 million or $3 million a year. It is the Roman circus. I know men who don't know anything in the world except who plays third base for the Mets, and they think that's a great accomplishment. And they meet and pat each other on the back and bond and go have cocktails and talk about what this guy that plays third base for the Mets did in last night's game. It's sad. It's really sad.
It's very sad. It is. I know people, and you know people that know, again, what LeBron James ate for breakfast, then how many dollars were printed, what the Dixie says, Bitcoin price, even their own portfolios. You know what I mean? And it is 100% sad, man, what's going on here today. It's been going on for decades like this. It's been going on since, sports have been around. Again, it's the circus. It's all a distraction. And these players, and again, I'm not hating on them or nothing like that. They get paid millions of dollars. Look how much Steph Curry makes a year. LeBron James makes a year. These NFL quarterbacks, these baseball players, a tonny. You know what I mean? What's his name? Patrick Mahomes and the rest of these boys. It's crazy, man. The troll, you said that it was a 10-part series and it's supposed to end last Friday. Yeah, this is the 10th part. And what you do, you give us another PBS documentary, and this one has 78 parts. Well, this is the same one, the troll. If you would listen, we didn't play it on Friday because we did something else. So get your head out of your, you know what, the troll. Rudy Quantum, good to see you guys. Yes, newscasters are hypnotizing people. Absolutely, they put them in these. And I said this in my video yesterday. They put them in these nice clothes. They put them in a nice studio, right? Everything looks good. The lighting. Sometimes they're good-looking people. They're scripted. And what do they tell you? Nothing but lies and propaganda. And they're feeding you nothing but nonsense. Same thing with the school teachers back in the days. What do they teach us? What the system wanted them to teach. You need a hug to troll. Yes, 100%. That's one of the reasons I have nothing to do with sports. Absolutely. I used to be a sports dude. I used to have a NBA channel. You know what I mean? So I don't watch it anymore. Troll, but you stay the whole live every single night. I think you just like to complain like a teenage girl. Yes, Tori. Scorpion, my friends hate me because I don't watch any sports. They're a waste of time. They aren't paying them for independent thoughts. They get paid that much to follow what they are told otherwise. They don't last long. Yep. Again, this is why I tell people, when you watch the mainstream liberal media, the ABCs of the world, the CBSs, the NBC, nothing but crap, PBS, CNN, the Clown News Network, the Crime News Network, the Clinton News Network, the China News Network, MSDNC, and the rest. These people are absolute liars and actresses and actors. They are just literally liars. That's all they do. Otherwise, they get sent. Yes, exactly. I summon here. They don't understand why I don't watch. Yep. That guy looks like a bit like Alex Jones. He thinks like Alex Jones too. Absolutely. The troll. I don't stay the whole live. I just jump in and out. What you should be familiar with. In and out. Okay. He does. LMFA. Yo, Machine. What's up, brother? Oh, gotcha. It's like how I am in and out of your mom. Ask about me. Ask about me. Ask about me. VAW Sports, owned by the cabal, a.k.a. the Vatican, all part of the beast system. Yes, VAW. Talk to him. How a grown man going to wear another man's name on his back. Tell him, Buck52. That is so freaking true, man. So true. Rudy, they do it for the money. Exactly. They sell their souls, man. These news anchors or whatever. You see these people? Caitlin Collins and all these people on CNN. Rachel Maddow is the worst. Rachel Maddow is not a stupid woman, okay? My father was a very, very smart guy before he died. He believed that nonsense. She is a complete and utter actor. Same thing as Joe. Morning Joe on MSDNC in the morning, him and his wife. I was going to say something else. Absolute actors, man. And they go up there and lie to the American people every single day. It's crazy. We are conditioned from birth not to think outside the box. They want followers, not leaders. Tell them, Scorpion. Criminals needing Bitcoin. Yep. Mia, we are taught to work for the big man, not question authority, and just work as robots for the elite. Yes, Mia. And she talks about that on her channel, by the way. Make sure you subscribe to her. So does Corey. So does Otis. So does Jor. Absolutely. Sell the soul to the money printer. Tell him, Joe. You are, quote unquote, in and out, a 70-year-old woman? Okay, this isn't the burn you think it is. Burr, money printer go burr. The Rachel Maddow Bitcoin video is funny. Yes, it is. Bug Fitty. Burr. Gucci Man Burr. Yep. Okay, we finally had another Block Eye come up after 83 minutes. Was it one of you guys that did it? Let me know. Rudy, we may as well be ancient Egyptians. Yep. And feeding is fiat food. And feeding us fiat food. Yes. Poison, in other words. And keeping us on medications. These pharmaceuticals, drug companies, which are the biggest drug dealers in the world, by the way. They make Pablo Escobar look like a kid on the corner. They work with the food companies to do what? Make sure you're hooked on the food. They literally genetically make these foods so you are hooked on them, right? With the combination of fat, salt, and sugar. And then you get sick off of them. And then what do the pharmaceuticals do? They don't want you to get better. They just want to give you the medicine, right? I have that 70-year-old prune juice. I love that 70-year-old prune juice. Yes, woohoo! Rachel Maddow is secretly stacking sats. She probably is, Corey. They were more advanced than us. Yes. The troll. I got a question, Pizza Man. If I had 20 Bitcoin and used 3 to buy a house and a car, okay, what's the rest of it? The troll. The movie Dope Sick on Netflix. Watch it. Yes. Would that be bad or not? It depends on what you paid. When did you buy the 20 Bitcoin, the troll? And it's your money. You do what you want. Personal finance is personal. You know, you do whatever you want with your money. I wouldn't do it personally. I would loan against it. The troll. What is the longest time it ever took to mine one block? That's a good question, Buckfitty. We could type that into Perplexity if you like. Let's see. What is the longest time it took to mine a Bitcoin block? The longest time ever recorded to mine a Bitcoin block occurred between blocks 0 and 1 with an interval of 463,000. Okay. 5 days, 8 hours, and 39. This is extended delay. Okay. Subsequent significant delays included mined on May 22nd, 2009 with a delay of about 25 hours. So this looks like it's all early days. 2011 with a delay of 141 minutes, approximately 2 hours and 19 minutes. So yeah, there you have it. VW, it's all in documentary here on YouTube called Human Resources. Great series. It's all in a documentary here on YouTube. Okay, we'll check that out. Tori, hold on. You got to give Troll a second. He lost the train. Yes, the train of thought. Don't dox yourself, the troll. Just like Hudson Valley, prepping was just taken off YouTube. Don't show people the truth. You can't. Dope Sick was great. Yes, I like that. I like that one. That part, I say it all the time. Some guys man on your back and you get paid good money for the jersey. Some guys man on your back and you paid good money for the jerseys. Yes. Can you imagine if you took all the jerseys you spent on, not you guys, but the idiots, and bought Satoshis with those? The troll, if it was personal, why you got mad at the guy at the restaurant who sold his Bitcoin? He was a trader, and I didn't get mad at him. I just asked him, I said, what'd you do? He said, well, I traded and he lost money on it. So I didn't necessarily got mad. I just got a little concerned because he was not educated. The troll. Does that answer your question? It's pretty simple. The troll has significant delays. He's got delays up here too. Gold is shining today. BTC will follow. Yes, Kev. What's up, Kev? I got you on the map. I mean, on the wheel. What up, Kev? How are you, sir? Cool, Kev. That is. Bang. Rachel Maddow makes roughly 1 Bitcoin per day, equivalent at her yearly salary. Propaganda pays. Yep. Put you on here too, Bang. I don't think I got you on here. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming. Yes. It was on CPU miners back then, which I still run one. LOL, old school. Okay, VAW. I'm an hour late. You all good, Pipeline? How are you, sir? Good to see you, man. Mr. DCA, man. He DCAs every day. He upped his DCA. Great job. Podcast. What's good, brother? Better late than never. Yeah, absolutely. Come in anytime, man. Come in anytime. All right, so let's spin it. Am I missing anybody on this wheel? I'll give you 30 seconds. Let me know if I'm missing you. Somebody brought up gold, and I'm glad you did. Gold is at its all-time high. The last time I checked it, 3,400. Look at that. It's killing it, man. You gotta give props. And normally when gold kills it like that, I got a bright light coming, guys, real quick. When gold kills it like that, Bitcoin's right behind it. Look at gold's freaking market cap right now, ladies and gentlemen. 23 trillion right now. Right? 23 trillion. And Bitcoin, the young guy in the thing is 1.73 trillion. So we're both going up. So is Pipeline at Pipeline? Hey, Pipeline, what city and state you in, brother, if you don't mind me asking? Because I'm going to put you on this map right here. I got all my Bitcoiners for freedom up here, Pipeline. Drop your city and state if you don't mind. Please and thank you. Join our group for a family, friends, advice, and most importantly, laughs. Yes. Joe, Signal. Yep, there's a link if you want to join us. The Troll. I saw an article with BTC is going to 250 by year's end. I thought I was reading a Mad TV magazine when I read that. Well, The Troll, when you were watching my old videos, you said it was never going back to 60-something thousand, and it did. You also said it'll never go back to 100. So were you reading the Mad TV magazine then? Or let me know. The Troll in the group. I'd love to be able to roast you on the weekends as well. The Troll ain't going to come in our group. He has to pay. He's not going to pay nothing. Hello, Pipeline. Hawaii. EB, you in Hawaii? What part, sir? Let me know. Remember this. Most anchors are SAG card holders. One very old guild. Paul Atkinson officially sworn in as new secretary. Good. Is that true? I didn't see that. What part of Hawaii you from? In Pipeline, where you at? What city and state, my brother? While you doing that, let's get on this wheel and let's make this spin. No, I'm in Chicago. Pipeline is a place in Hawaii. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. You are in Chicago. Sorry. Is probably setting 47 is probably setting the stage for an epic bull run. You know he's going out with a bang. Absolutely. I'll pay for a good roast if he joined. Yes. I don't lie. You sure don't, brother. I know you don't. I just didn't see it. That's all. Everyone can check out our new super stickers. Oh, yeah. Want to support the channel? Hit us up with a super sticker. Thanks for the reminder, Joe. I appreciate it. This Joe keeps me in check. No, and never will. Plus, you got to roast me successfully here in order to roast me elsewhere because nothing you said here was a roast worthy. Okay. Guess that's the Tory. All right, so let's get this spin in for block 425. Let's get it in where we fit in. Good luck, everybody. And you're in it to win it. The Wheel of Satoshi, ladies and gentlemen. Mia. Mia, congratulations. Hold on. Someone just said some sats in. Thank you so much, whoever did this. Somebody sent in 50 Satoshis. Thank you so much, whoever did that. Thank you. Really, really appreciate that. It helps a lot. Thank you so much. Woohoo! Verbo, you never told me who you, and maybe you did, I didn't see it. Who did you want to give your sats to? If not at all, I'll give them to you if you want them. But let me know, Verbal. At the Troll, I keep your mom in rotation like a good roast. Okay. Woo, Mia. Sorry, guys. I'm having a delay on these freaking comments. I think my internet's delaying too. Congrats, Mia. Woo, Mia. Congrats. Mia, yay. Oh, Emily. Okay, VW. Emily. Smart man, VW. Smart man. I probably just missed it. Congrats, Mia. Maggie says. 50 sats, you are great. Thank you, guys. 50 sats, you are great. Joe, did you send that? Yes, brother. I mentioned to send Emily. Okay. Smart man. Smart man. I'm hanging with you in Vegas, my friend. My dear friend. Okay, we're going to do 426 and 427, and then we're going to get back into the video. Let's spin it to win it, guys. Hey, VAW. I was saying thank you. Okay. EB. Out of Chi-Town. Woo! Every time I hear that, I think about Jor. Jor for the score. Where's Jor at, by the way? Anybody seen Jor? Yes. Congratulations, EB. 100 sats to you. 427. Let's get it. EB. Woo! Yes. EB. Danielle. Congratulations. I summoned Jor. Summon him. Congrats. Danielle, are you here, ma'am? We got 27 in here and only, how many on the wheel? 22 on the wheel. We got some window shoppers, guys. Come on. Emily, yes. Congrats, Danielle. Danielle, are you here, ma'am? Clean your machine. Congrats, Ian. I saw that WrestleMania was in Vegas. I hope no one confused you as Yokozuna. LOL. Who is Yokozuna? I don't even know who that is. What is it? Yokozuna. Zuni? Hold on. Zuna. Let me see who this is. Somebody, probably a big person, I'm guessing. Yokozuna? Images? You think somebody thought I was this guy? The troll? Because he looks Hawaiian or something, so I don't think she probably chasing a kid, yeah. Evie's Daniels, congrats. Yes, Danielle, congratulations. She probably chasing a kid. Oh, she's with you? Spin again. Okay, I'll spin again. Joe says 27 viewers, 17 likes. Let's effing go. Let's get likes to 50 tonight. Yes, thank you. Troll, me and your mom play WrestleMania. She calls me the Undertaker. Okay. Thanks. No problem. Thank you so much. No problem. All right, let's so the troll, nobody walked up to me and said I was this guy. So yeah, I don't look anything like him, the troll. But thanks for your concern. I appreciate it. Let's spin it again. I'm gonna take Danielle off the list for now until she comes back. So let's spin it again. And let's win it again. Sharper. That guy in the back is funny. Sharper, are you here, sir? And if you are, what would you like to do with your sats? Sharper gives his out about 75, 80, 90% of the time. But he'll keep it sometimes. Woo! Congratulations, Sharper. Put your name on here. STS, Sharper Than Sword. I'm another one of my bodyguards, by the way. STS, yes, my bro. Got you. I'll let you keep them. They're all yours, my brother. All right, so let's finish off at part 1 if we can get through all 5 because I'm talking a lot. I'm gonna go tell her she lost. Better pay attention. Yeah, you gotta be here to win it, guys. You gotta be here to win it. You gotta have the speed wallet, and you gotta be a subscriber and hit the like button. Even though I can't check that, but I'm gonna pretend like I can. Can everyone help summon Jor? I need to see fire in the chat, please. Thank you, sir. David, take me out the wheel. I gotta go. Have a good night, everyone. No problem, man. Thanks for letting me know that, and thanks for coming in. And thank you so much for watching, David. Well, I appreciate you, bro. Seriously. David. All right. 20 people left on the wheel. Congrats, Danielle. Congrats, STS. Bye, Dave. Rudy, my niece gonna let money go like that. Hey, you gotta be here. Let's give my sats to Emily, please. Another smart man. Thank you for doing that, VAW, for Emily. And thank you, Sharper, for doing that for Emily. It's very nice of you guys. That's real. That's what a real man does, by the way. Okay? We got real men in this chat. You know? That's what's up, Sharper and VAW. That's how you guys do it. Sharper Than Sword, what's good, brother? Fire. He had a great interview on Robin Sierra's channel. He rocked it, brother. Shout out to Jor. Yeah. That was an old one, though. That was from a few months ago. I think he just uploaded. I think. Because I remember that episode. Speaking of that, I did an interview with him a couple of weeks ago, and it'll be up in like 10 days on May 1st. So we'll look out for that, and hopefully that'll bring in some more traffic for us because Robin has a lot of followers. Thank you so much, STS. Yes. And shout out to Jor. Shout out to Jor for the score. That's my boy, man. Strike notification. What do we have here? You received 121 sats. Oh, that is very, very nice. No note, but thank you so much. Thank you, whoever did that. I really, really appreciate that. My kids are going to love you for it. Fires. Looking forward to the interview, brother. Yeah. I think it went decent. This is my new camera here. This is the first day I got it, so we'll see. Hey, got to teach them kids to pay attention. Yep. I don't know how it came out. I haven't watched it yet, so we'll see. Jerry, any chance you can do the reverse Kager calculator for all of us to see? I don't know how to do that, man. I've never done that before, Sharper. You told me, but I didn't get a chance to do it. It's pretty cool and gives a lot of people hope. Joe, do you know anything about the reverse Kager? Because I don't. See, Sharper, you're too smart for me, man. Danielle, sweet. Oh, nice, Danielle. But yeah, you got taken off the list, so you're a little late. But I'll put you back on, ma'am. But if you leave, let us know, Danielle, okay? Please and thank you. Let's see. Bitcoin reverse Kager calculator. Let's see that. Calculate future value. Okay. This right here, Sharper? Not how to pull it up on your end. Yep. Okay. Rudy, yep. It's pretty easy. Just enter the amount invested in the Kager amount, the length of time invested, and boom. Okay. Gotta be here, yeah. Okay, so let's see. $1,000 Kager is 8 in percentage. I think it's higher than 80. I mean 8. Let's do 40. Let's do 1,000 number of months, years. Okay, so Sharper, what numbers you want me to plug in to, sir? Okay. What numbers you want me to plug in? Let me know, my brother. Or anybody, let me know. Let me know. I think we would do it. I love learning new stuff. I never used this before. I did the inflation calculator, but never the reverse Kager. So let's read about it too, by the way. Reverse Kager calculator is an online tool to calculate the future value, quote unquote, final amount of maturity value of an investment when the Kager compound annual growth rate is already expected. If you have already used the Kager calculator, then you might find the reverse Kager calculator very handy to gain future insight. Unlike the standard Kager calculator, which calculates growth over a time period with the known initial and final values, this tool lets you predict the future value of your investment. Hence, helps you properly plan the financial goal. I have never been a good reader out loud, guys. Sorry about that. Any LOL, and use the average BTC Kager, I think 50 to 60. Okay, I thought it was 40. I've already played around with it, but thought it might be cool for others to check it out. Thank you, Sharper. It is. I was lowballing at 40. So what do you guys want me to plug in? Want to plug in? Let's just plug in 1,000,000 Satoshis today is what? $870. Let's just do that. All right. Let's just use 40 for now. Number of periods, months. Let's do 10 years. Calculate. Okay, according to this, if you buy 1,000,000 sats today at a Kager of 40 now, your future value of maturity value would be 25,165. So, yeah. What do you guys think about that? You want me to use some different numbers or what? But I like that. That's pretty cool, Sharper. Thank you for sharing that. And that's at 40, right? You know what? Let's do what Sharper says. 870. And let's do 55. Number of periods, 10 years. That is years, right? Number of periods, months/years. I don't know what months/years. So should I do months? 10 years is 120 months. Should I do it like that? Let me know, brother. Insane. Got to stack them sats. Yes. Ooh, I'll take it, brother. Thanks for sharing, Sharper. Yeah. So, yeah, VW gives me so much hope for the future. Yes. That is cool, man. That is so cool. So, Sharper, you know what? I don't have you on my list. Do I? I don't think so, sir. Sharper, if you don't mind, and if you do mind, let me know. Could you drop your city and state? And if not, if you don't not comfortable with that, no worries, brother. I just like to have the city and state of all of our Bitcoin people. See where we're at on the map. If you don't mind, if you don't want to, it's fine. It's absolutely no big deal. I'm overseas, brother, but don't really want to pinpoint exact location. No problem. I figured you wouldn't. No problem, sir. All right, so let's get back into episode 5 or episode 10. And let's get into it. All of the family, yes. Let's get back into it.
Our timeline from the previous episode so that we can keep track of where we are in the story. Welfare, bread, and circus were basically distraction tactics used by the ruling elite who would offer promises of free stuff to ingratiate themselves with the public. There's a famous quote from the satirist Juvenal who summed up the situation very succinctly. Give them bread and circus, and they will never revolt. The citizens felt like they were getting these things for free when they were actually paid for by a crushing double blow of continuous currency debasement and increased taxation. In the end, the only way that the Roman rulers could enforce this tax collection was by doubling down on their stifling bureaucracy. The size of their government compared to the private sector exploded, business became incredibly difficult, and many simply gave up. Steve Forbes just mentioned how difficult the situation became for farmers, or husbandmen as they were referred to in the past. Here's a quote that backs that up from Lactantius around 300 AD. There began to be fewer men who paid taxes than there were who received wages, so that the means of the husbandman being exhausted by enormous impositions, the farms were abandoned, cultivated grounds became woodland, and universal dismay prevailed.
All of these tourists go through the Colosseum here, all amazed at the ruins of a great civilization. And I have to ask myself, are they asking themselves, what happened to these people? Why did this thing fall into ruin? Everybody goes and they buy these trinkets at the gift shops and postcards and books, and they have their pictures taken here and there. I don't think any of them are thinking about the fact that most countries on the planet are doing exactly the same thing today.
It's happening all over the globe, ladies and gentlemen. All over the globe. All right, somebody had a question up here. Jerry, use the chat GPT, ask it, quote unquote, using the same growth rate that Bitcoin has shown, where will it be in 10 years? Okay. Let's do that real quick. Okay, what was it? Using the same growth rate. Using the same growth rate that BTC has shown. What was it? Where will it be in 10 years? Where will it be in 10 years? Okay, let's see. Put myself in the corner here. To estimate where BTC could be in 10 years using its historic growth rate, we need to make a few assumptions and do a little math. Here's a breakdown. Okay, there's the breakdown. Projections and 10-year result. If Bitcoin continues to grow at the same average rate as the last 10 years, it will be worth over 6.6 million in 2035. Wow. That's crazy, EB. Got you, brother. I took you off. Later, brother. Be safe. Ringgold, Virginia. Okay, I got you on there. Ringgold, Virginia. Rudy. Oh, you guys are right next to each other. Rudy. Thank you, Rudy, for doing that. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, that's incredible. Incredible. Does anyone have any questions for Jerry? See you, gotta go. Okay, Buck52. Thanks for hanging, brother. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Stay safe, brother. Yes. Later, 152. I'll tune back in after dinner. Okay, Alex. Let me know when you come back. Driving by to say hi and throw some support your way. Hey, God, Cannabis, and Bitcoin. How are you? Good to see you. I'm going to put you on the list. God, Cannabis, and Bitcoin. Alex, I'm going to take you off for now, honey. But we love you. Verbal. I'm thinking after 1 million, the fiat value will be decoupled from the value. Me too. It'll be about the sats then, baby. Yes, exactly. That's me and Jor's take on it. Hello, brother. Corey, Jerry, are you able to make the text for all of our names on the map a different color than white? It blends in too much with the states. I can try. Brother. Yeah, that would be better if I could do that. I'm going to work on that. If anybody knows how to do that, because I'd like to make the text a different color and the maybe everything orange, right? The orange pins and also orange names. If anybody knows how to do that, let me know, please, guys, in the comment section below. Thank you, Corey, for asking. Salute, brother. No, I won't be here long. Just saying hi. Okay, I'll take you off. Jerry, we can work on it and get it done. Cool. Thank you. Quantum, take me off, Jerry. Have a great show, everyone. Okay, brother. I'll take you off. Quantum, GCB, I'll take you off too, man. No doubt. Appreciate you. And make it bigger. Okay. You hear that, Joe? Make the text bigger and do it. Got you, bro. Yeah, it would be better. Thank you for saying that. Be easy, brother. All right, let's get back into the video.
Americans know, I fear, is what movie stars are doing, what sports stars are doing, and what occurred on the last installment of Jerry Springer or some other reality show. And the food stamps are not even food stamps anymore. They give you a credit card that you can buy your food with, so that you look like you can actually afford to eat, as opposed to living off the dole. It's very similar.
People's relationship to money in a country like America, the biggest economy in the world, is based entirely on the benefits they get from consuming and consumerism. And right now, you have an era of popularization of drugs that are being used, like Prozac and other drugs, that people are taking massive quantities of while they're consuming popular culture for instant gratification. So instant gratification enhanced by drugs with a consumer culture with easy credit. So people are literally high all day long. They're consuming, they're on drugs, they've got cheap sugar, they've got cheap high fructose corn syrup in America thanks to those massive government subsidies. So they're basically spinning their tits 24/7, 365. Now, as soon as that value proposition changes and you're not getting high as easily as you did yesterday, the cost of getting blitzed out of your skull on cheap drugs, cheap sugar, and cheap entertainment tips to an actual cost where you've got to actually put in a day's labor, then you're going to see social unrest. Then you're going to see real change, because those people suddenly are going to be facing reality without the benefit of being on drugs. And that's going to be a day when suddenly this economic model of consumption at the expense of humanity comes to a screeching halt.
Max Kaiser, always ahead of his time. Boom. 100, nothing but facts right there, ladies and gentlemen.
So the ancient Romans had welfare, bread, and circus. Today, the USA has welfare and mass distraction. We've had the Colosseum-like venues for our games and theater for a long time, and now we also have people filling these Colosseums to watch digital gladiators battle each other in virtual esports events. These sporting and electronic spectacles, along with mindless entertainment like talk shows, are piped directly into our homes on TV, or now even to the cell phones in our pockets. We have the same politicians who constantly make impossible promises of free stuff, and a good portion of the population are hypnotized into believing them thanks to our modern version of bread and circus. Just like in ancient Rome, the USA has increased taxation in an attempt to pay for all of the so-called free stuff. And not surprisingly, we are now also burdened with a stifling bureaucracy in order to enforce the ridiculous amount of rules, taxes, and regulations. The size and scope of government has gone past anything that the founders of our country could have imagined in their worst nightmares, and now we face the same problem as ancient Rome. There are now fewer and fewer productive individuals and businesses left to fund the buffoonery of government. Remember, governments cannot create prosperity, they can only consume it.
Boom. Boom. Love it. Absolutely true. That's part one. We got 4 more to go. And we are an hour and a half in almost. All right, let's do some spins, ladies and gentlemen. See where we're at. VAW. That's my time, brother. Appreciate you to the fullest. Much love to you and everyone else. See you soon. Stay safe. Take me off the great wheel. Thank you, man. We love you, VAW. Appreciate you stopping by, brother. All right, we gotta mow through these videos. They're really, really good though. The last one's really good. Woohoo! Yes. Okay, let's see what block we're at right now. Okay. 431. All right, let's do a spin for 428. And let's get it. Goodbye, my brother. Tori, congratulations. Congratulations, Tori. Appreciate you. Good night. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Tori's the winner. And by the way, somebody donated some sats during that thing. Somebody gave 94 and 91. Oh, excuse me, 94 and 1 sat. Here's the 1 sat. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Every one of them counts. And 94. Thank you. Whoever did that. Appreciate it. Tori wants to give them to Mia. Thank you, Mia. Thank you, Tori, for giving those to Mia. Appreciate it. Take care, brother. Yep. Yep. BTC, new daily candle. All sats matter, Corey. Yes. New daily candle. What do you mean? Let's see. What's the daily candle? Congrats. Hey, Emily. You've been quiet over there. All right, let's do another spin for 429, and we're gonna get back into the episode. Tori again. Congratulations, Tori. Back to back to back. Good job. Add to stage. Let me see. Remove this. Add to stage. Room studio. Woohoo, Tori. Yes. Tori for the score. That's right. Here goes part 2, guys. If I can find it. Here goes part 2. Where is it? Hidden Secrets of Money. Okay. Let's get into it.
Now we're going to take a side trip.
God damn, this really likes me. Send them to me again. Okay. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. Let's get it.
So that I can show you some of the real-world effects of all this excess bureaucracy. We're going to meet a new friend who belongs to the group of people who suffer the most under burdensome laws and taxation: small business owners and entrepreneurs. These individuals are the lifeblood of an economy, and when a government stands in their way, it stands in the way of progress, choice, and a higher standard of living for us all. We've been in many restaurants all over the world, and we came back to Rome on the way to Venice solely so that we could stop and eat at Fiora di Zucca, our favorite restaurant in the world. And we've got the owner here, Roberto. We believe that government is very poor at doing things, and that if government was running your restaurant, it would not be exceptional.
We agree. He agrees, and I do too.
One of the things that we feel is sort of difficult and dangerous these days is that people are very upset with the economy and they want the government to do something about it. And I believe that the best thing that government could do is to make it easier for small businessmen like you to do your job. This is what makes the economy good.
Le personalità come le vostre.
Infatti il governo,
Absolutely
lo Stato,
true. The government and the state
non aiuta assolutamente.
is really not helping the small business in any way.
Se avessi un aiuto politico,
If I had had government help,
avrei la voglia di aprirne uno, due,
it could probably open more of them.
You don't need government money, though. What you need is just for government to get out of the way and make it easier to go into business. Not so many rules, not so many taxes.
Yes. Get rid of the red tape. Right? It's not just the red tape and the government being in the way, but it's the money that's broken. Thanks, lady. Congrats, Tor. Congrats, Tori times 2. Yes. I love this effing group. Me too. Dinner. Yes. Cool, Kev. You out of here? All sats are important. Thanks, everyone, for the donations, Jerry. Please come join the group. Yes. There's a link to it. Thank you, Joe. Going to bed. Good night, friends. We love you, Meggies. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, Meggies. Where you at on the list? Okay. Yeah, let the government get out of the way, man. Let's do it. The more members our group has, the bigger our family is. Yes. Friends, we got you, Meggies. We love you, Megs.
Right? Dice sì, a questo punto non è neanche più un discorso di capitale, è un discorso di amministrazione e di tasse. Exactly.
Yeah. In ancient Rome, the government was telling you how much you could pay your workers, and no more, no less. The government was telling you how much you could charge for that buffalo mozzarella and that flatbread. If the government told you everything you could do, would you want to stay in business even?
Assolutamente no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Diventa un McDonald's totale.
It just becomes a big McDonald's for everybody.
Yes.
This is the problem.
Right. This is the problem.
This is the problem.
We live in a state we call the People's Republic of California because the government has made so many rules, it is becoming very difficult for a small business.
Emily, does that sound familiar? What he just said? People's Republic of California?
It is becoming very difficult for a small business. The government has made so many rules. It is becoming very difficult for a small businessman.
Sta mettendo proprio i bastoni nelle ruote della piccola azienda.
Ma anche qua in Italia.
Here, it's the same problem.
Ci stanno portando via dall'Italia per quello che mi riguarda. Cioè, se
It's
io
like
avessi
they are trying to do everything to take us away from this country.
di andare in un altro
If you had the courage to go somewhere else, you probably would do it. It's a struggle to stay here.
I have all the same problems on the other side of the world. All I want is for government to get out of the way and let me do my job.
Aiuto dal governo. Vorrei solo che si togliessero dai piedi.
I feel like I have found a brother.
Absolutely agree.
My brother.
It's crazy. It's the same thing with us, right? Everything that they're going through, or I'm going through here, you're going through where you're at. Same thing. Doesn't matter where it's at around the globe. Governments are too big. They're too bloated. They're getting in everybody's way, and they're breaking the money. That's why I say when people are talking about politics are not important, I'm like, what are you talking about? All this stuff is political, man. Right, Emily? It's all political.
Roberto is still in Rome, and I love nothing more than supporting his exceptional restaurant whenever I'm in the area. But since filming this segment, the burdens placed on my business in California became so totally unbearable that I had no option but to move operations out of state. It pains me deeply to watch history repeat like this, as this affects people's lives, including some of the best employees and friends I ever had.
Mille grazie. Mille grazie.
Grazie a te.
The role of government, among other things, is creating an environment where people can go out and do creative things. Our founders understood we are born with certain energies. The question is, are those energies going to be directed in a positive way or a destructive way? There are two ways you can get ahead. One is to steal it from your neighbor, and the other is to go out and provide a product or service that somebody else wants, create something that hadn't existed before out of your mind. You take the risk and you do it, and we all benefit from it. And that's why it's so important to have that proper environment. And what makes up that environment? Well, you don't have to be a PhD. In fact, it'll probably get in your way. One is the rule of law, where you know what the rules are. Sound money, sensible taxation. Taxes are a price and a burden. And if you lower that burden, people are able to focus and do more real things, making it easy to set up a legitimate business. Just basic rules, and people will do amazing things. An amazing amount of creativity can be released. But beware of government saying we're here to help you. Usually they end up harming us all. Government benefits, but not the rest of us.
Yep. Just create value and get the government out of the way. What does Ronald Reagan say? The 9 most scariest words? I'm here from the government. I'm here to help, or something like that. Whatever it was. Just like that guy said, man. Evil, man. It's evil.
One of the things I've noticed is we keep on putting people in charge that not only don't know anything about monetary history, but they don't know the fundamental economics that a normal businessman would know. Any businessman owner, or just somebody that is able to control their own finances at home. What they hire are people that, they're quants that have theories in their head, they've got some book knowledge, but they've never actually hired a person. They've never made the books balance or had to go out and make sure that there's more profit coming in this month than expenses so that they don't go out of business.
It's exactly right. It's this fascination, this love affair that the world has with academic economists in the last 20 years. I think you'll find, like everything else, it goes full circle. At some point in the next 20 years, we'll have central banks staffed exclusively by successful business people who've been brought in to fix the mess that bureaucrats and academics have fostered upon us.
Actually, I think an even better future would be a world without central banks, where the free market is left alone to decide what money is. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Anyway, back to the story. Let's look at the last 2 entries on our timeline for both.
You guys still here? Holy crap. I look like I lost a little bit of signal there. Okay. Sorry about that, guys.
Able to control their own finances at home. What they hire are people that, they're quants that have theories in their head, they've got some book knowledge, but they've never actually hired a person. They've never made the books balance or had to go out and make sure that there's more profit coming in this month than expenses so that they don't go out of business.
It's exactly right. It's this fascination, this love affair that the world has with academic economists in the last 20 years. I think you'll find, like everything else, it goes full circle. At some point in the next 20 years, we'll have central banks staffed exclusively by successful business people who've been brought in to fix the mess that bureaucrats and academics have fostered upon us.
And that's exactly what Donald Trump is doing right now. These politicians have never been in the private sector. They don't make anything. Then why do you call me dark history? Right? These people don't know anything. They're career politicians. But now Trump, him and his whole freaking cabinet are actually business people that have been out there, billionaires, multimillionaires that have built stuff. You know what I mean? That know how a financial sheet works. Checks and balances. Earned income. Hello, was that me? No. That wasn't you, brother. That was called the internet. They know what a balance sheet looks like. The government is just so busy printing money, they never have anything or nobody to keep them accountable. If they just want something, they just print the money instead of saying, let's be fiscally conservative here. It's crazy.
Actually, I think an even better future would be a world without central banks, where the free market is left alone to decide what money is. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Anyway, back to the story. Let's look at the last 2 entries on our timeline for both ancient Rome and the USA and see if we can use them to predict what comes next. If you have more currency flowing into the government in the form of taxes, and then multiply that by more bureaucrats, what does that equal? If you guessed the corruption of the political process, you'd be spot on. In ancient Rome, one of the fastest ways to accumulate personal wealth was to hold office and bestow favors on individuals or businesses in return for gifts. In other words, bribery. In the modern USA, I hate to say it, but not a lot has changed. Cronyism is now the norm in Washington. This is where industries and individuals can basically buy a politician to vote a certain way. In some cases, we've seen their influence extend to the highest levels, where outsiders are writing the legislation and having their cronies introduce it.
Ding, 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 ding. Politicians equal prostitutions or prostitutes. Period. Politics is prostitution. Again, I tell you guys this all the time, right? If you want to see someone in politics or a politician or a prostitute, you want to see who they really work for? Number one, look who pays them. And number two, see how they vote. See how they vote. Are you one of the constituents of your political, quote unquote, politicians in your area? Do they work for you? Probably not.
We've also seen the advent of revolving door politics, where politicians may not take cash directly as bribes, but as soon as they've fulfilled their purpose in politics, they walk out the door of public disservice and into highly paid positions in the private sector. How convenient. So, when we take a look at our timeline, the parallels are really starting to stack up. Our political and monetary experiments never seem to end, and I know I'm not the only one who feels like we are accelerating towards something really big.
Boom. Crazy. Crazy. What would the government do if we were to lose financial markets? They'd go belly up. That's what they do. They'd have to go on a Bitcoin standard. Honestly. It's a good question, Rudy. These people are crooked as hell, man. You know? All right, let's do a spin. Let's get it. Let's win it. This is for block 430. EB. The man out of Chicago. Please not me again, right? Almost, Tori. Almost. Congratulations, EB. I know you're here, sir. I know you're here. All right, let's do 431. Spin the wheel of Satoshi. Congratulations, EB. Corey. Congratulations, Corey. Congrats, EB. Joe says, show Jerry we love him and share this live to save a life. That seems like it's hyperbolic, but it's not, really. Because that's a great point, Joe. Bitcoin has saved my life. Has it saved your life? Really, though. What was the newest? Who's the newest person here? The newest person here is probably, it's either Emily or Danielle. I don't know if Danielle's here, though. Congrats, Corey. Can I split with Southwest Michigan guy? Yeah, if you want to. Southwest Michigan guy. Who was that? Yeah, we can do that. Half. Thank you for doing that. Very nice, EB. Thank you. Corey, woohoo. No problem, brother. No problem, Corey. Danielle is here. Okay, Danielle. Just trying to get that money now. Check the map for there. Okay. Let's see. Almost like sec. Why am I having? Isn't this Michigan? Okay, there's Michigan. That's $1.52. You want to give it to $1.52? Okay, bro. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother. Bangarang. All right, we only got 14 on the wheel now. We got 15 in here, so we're about right. Okay. All right, guys, let's spin again. Let's see who wins again. On the wheel of Satoshi. Pipeline. Pipeline's not here, though. Congratulations, Pipeline. Are you here, though, sir? That is the question. I say plenty of loot on Southwest Michigan runs for ganja. Okay. Gotcha, bro. Gotcha. Well, 82. Let's go, clean your machine. How are you? Oh, somebody sent in 100 sats too. Thank you so much, whoever did that, to the Speed Wallet. Thank you. Really, really appreciate that. It helps a lot. Thank you. Very nice of you. Like Corey says, all sats matter, and they do. They really, really do. It really helps. Thank you. Congrats, Pipeline. I don't think Pipeline's here, so I'm going to spin it again. Pipeline jumps in and out. So we're going to spin it again, and hopefully somebody that's here is going to win it. So let me take Pipeline off. Pipeline. Let's spin it again. Let's see if we can win it again. How's my internet coming in? It's choppy on this end. Kev. Reminds me of Joy every time I hear that. Kev, are you here, sir? Cool, Kev. Are you here? And quickly, as a reminder, guys, the fold card, if you guys use my link down below, that's a good card. Get some free Satoshis just by using the debit card every single day. I got a little commercial here I want to show you from the CEO of the company. Hold on.
Or debit card, Fold receives is every time you swipe our credit card or our debit card, Fold receives income revenue from the Visa networks. We then go and convert that into Bitcoin on behalf of our users as a form of Fold Bitcoin rewards. That sits in the account. What sets us apart, though, is our customers aren't seeing the rewards devalued every single year by the airline companies and airline miles. Instead, their rewards are appreciating, sometimes up to 60% compounded annual growth. And so many of them, thousands of them, have enough in rewards for down payments to make a big bill. It's truly changed their financial picture.
Let me say this, and I don't mean any disrespect when I say this if you don't have it, but I'm just telling you the truth. If you don't have a fold card, guys, and this included me before I had it, you're not a true Bitcoiner. Just saying. You know, so Joe's got the link right here. Boost your Bitcoin stack with these awesome platforms. Fold card. Click on that. You're gonna get, I believe, I think it's $5 or $10 of either cash or Bitcoin because they always change it. Yeah, $10 worth of Sats with their first fold card purchase. So earn some free Sats. When you buy stuff, you'll get some Sats. Pay your bills. Buy some gift cards or whatever. Again, you're not a true Bitcoin unless you got the fold card. Thank you guys so much. All right. Well, it looks like Kev's not here. So let's spin it one more time. And let's get it. Is the gold. I love to buy Bitcoin with them. Yes. Joe. Joe is the winner. Congratulations, Joe. We're at Black Height 432. Let's do another spin. Joe, let me know who you want me to give them to. Please and thank you. Danielle, looks like she's a winner. Joe is donating to Rudy. And Danielle is the winner. So 2 back-to-back in the same house. Danielle, young lady, are you in here? Congratulations. Yes. Congratulations. We're going to queue up part 3. Danielle, are you in here, young lady? Rudy, is she there with you, sir? We're going to do part 3 real quick. Let's do it.
Introduce you to my friend Chris Martinson. He has an absolutely wonderful series called The Crash Course that I highly recommend that you watch. Chris is a scientist and entrepreneur who does an excellent job of clarifying complex systems and scenarios. So I wanted to get his take on why it feels like we're speeding toward the edge of a cliff. Tell me about exponential growth, because this was one of the pieces.
This is great, guys. I want you to pay attention to this. You guys heard the exponential thing when it says, what would you rather have, $1 million or a penny doubled for 30 days? This is even crazier than that. Check this out.
In your series that I was blown away by.
You know, it's there's this famous quote by Keynes, not one man in a million understands inflation. The inflation process is very important. I think it's one man in a billion that probably understands what exponential growth is, and it's one of the most important things that we could get our arms around. And the reason it's so difficult to talk about is because we're humans, and we're not wired for exponential growth. We think in linear form. So if something goes from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, people get a sense of that. We know how that works. But when something goes from 1 to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 to 32 and just mushrooms off, well, it's much harder to understand it, and we're surrounded by exponential growth. It's in our economy, it's in our monetary numbers, it's in our debt numbers, it's in environmental statistics, it's in how rapidly we're depleting things in an inverse exponential decay, it's in everywhere we're surrounded by. So understanding is really critical. So I have a couple examples to help people understand what exponential growth is and why it's so hard. So if I had 2 erasers, and I said, all right, I'm going to give you $100 based on how evenly you can bring these 2 erasers together, nice even speed. You'll do a great job at that, right? You'll win $100 from me every single time. But now let's replace them 2 big heavy magnets, neodymium magnets, maybe from a Tesla coil, something really awesome. And you'll do what everybody does. All of a sudden they'll snap together, right? And it's because these magnets are pulling together with exponential force. And even though you might be physically capable of controlling that, your mind and your muscles and your neurons won't be able to wire that up. I'll give you 100 shots and it'll still be doing this, because we just aren't wired for that. Another exponential example that really helps bring this home. Do you have a park, like a favorite park that you wouldn't mind see getting ruined?
How about, I think they're going to decommission Candlestick Park at San Francisco.
Perfect. All right, let's use that as an example. So here's the thought experiment. Imagine I have a magic eyedropper, and it's magic because the drop of water that comes out of this eyedropper will double every minute. So after 1 minute, you get 2 drops, and after 2 minutes, you get 4 drops, and after 6 minutes, you can fill the thimble up, right? All right, so let's do 2 things. We're going to make this part watertight, and I'm going to handcuff you to the highest row of bleacher seats. And let's start this tomorrow, 12 o'clock. You're handcuffed up in this highest row of bleacher seats, and I go down right into the center of the field, and I put one of these magic drops down. Now, here's the question. How long do you have to escape from your handcuffs, knowing that this park is going to fill up with water?
Okay, 1 drop, and it's got to fill the entire park. How about a day?
A day. Good, that's close. What if I told you the answer is 50 minutes?
Well,
you can think 50.
Wow, Jor's here, guys. You came right on time, Jor. This is your example. This is crazy. Jor's coming in here right now. Check this out, Jor. This is perfect. You're coming in here right now, bro. Welcome, man.
Fill up with water.
Okay, 1 drop, and it's got to fill the entire park. How about a day?
A day. Good, that's close. What if I told you the answer is 50 minutes?
Well,
you can think 51 minutes, if you want to get rid of the skepticism, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's amazing, right? Just 50 or 51 minutes, and it's all over. The whole park is full. That's not the important question. Here's the important question. At what time is this park still 97% empty space? It's not filled with water. And do you realize the seriousness of your predicament?
Well, I know it would be half full 1 minute before my predicament. So, I don't know, 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's 5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay.
So if we go back just 5 minutes in time, there's a little bit of water in the infield. And then 5 more minutes, and it's over. And so when I look at this, I look across the world and I think, okay, from all of human history until 1960 to put the first 3 billion people on the planet, and then just 40 years to put the next 3 billion people on the planet. And this is important because the Earth is our stadium, and we're living through one of the most extraordinary periods of human history. Not just American history, not just in our personal lifetime history, but human history, because you and I will be alive during a time when human population will have fully tripled from roughly 3 billion to 9 billion if we live to ripe old ages. It's extraordinary. It's putting pressure on everything, and that exponential human growth is putting the curve on all those charts we just talked about. How fast we're depleting oil, how much food we have to grow, airline miles traveled, loss of tuna from the oceans, how much money has to be created. All of that is being driven by this exponential process. And so something I really like to be able to communicate to people is that exponential processes speed up at the end. So if anybody watching this has the sense that maybe things are going faster and it's harder to keep up with events, and wait, what's happening in Europe, it seems to be crumbling fairly quickly, that's because we have all these exponential processes converging on this one moment in time, and yes, things really are speeding up here and now.
Now I'd like to.
That's crazy that Jor came in here when this came on. When I first seen this, I thought about Jor, because Jor was the second time I ever heard about this. You know, first time obviously here, and then when I was rewatching, I thought about Jor, because Jor actually made a video about this. And by the way, guys, make sure you subscribe to Jor for the score. Make sure you go to his channel, subscribe to him. Here's the link to it. He makes videos every single day. He's one of the best Bitcoiners, in my opinion, hands down, with the fundamentals of Bitcoin. He really is, man. So, welcome, Jor. Respect the hell out of you, brother, for everything you're doing. I have negative and positive sides too. Just depends on the day. Yes. Radio, yes. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 3. Yep. Absolutely. Expensive growth plus absolute scarcity. All models are broken. Gradually, then suddenly, ladies and gentlemen. Gradually, then suddenly. Right? Jimmy John, bruh, don't tell me or anyone else we got to use some credit company's product or we're not a true Bitcoiner. I guess I'm not a true Bitcoiner. What's up, Jimmy John? How are you, sir? It's been a long time no see, man. Never let anyone tell you that there's a quote-unquote max on Bitcoin. Yeah, gradually and suddenly. It's going to go like that. I think when it hits 1 million, Jor. I really do. Woohoo, yes. My man. Compliment of a lifetime. It's the truth. It's not a compliment. That's just the truth. If you like the fold card, then you use the fold card. Otherwise, stop pushing credit products. I do use it, Jimmy John. You should try it too if you're a Bitcoiner. Just saying, Jimmy. Just saying. This is a debit card, Jimmy John. Yeah, you can get the credit card, but it's a debit card. Good point, Joe. Yes, definitely ask Jor about his 365 days of Bitcoin. Yes. Speaking of that, Jor's got some great links here you can go to. He's got all this stuff. This right here. The stamp seed. If you need that, he's got it right here. With the hammer. I'll put a link in the description box for it. Let's see. Stamp your seeds with this. He's got that. Put the link in the description for him. Yeah, I did summon Jor. Make sure that right there, that link right there is for that. And then also the Bitcoin Journeyman right here with this handsome guy right here, looking all professional. Check that out. Here's a link to that as well. Yeah, 15% off too, Jor says, with that code, 88 sats code. And that right there. There's a link. So make sure you go over there to him. Got all kind of goods and services. And he's just doing a hell of a job in the Bitcoin space. He really is. Yes. I did summon him. Same difference? No, credit card and debit card are different. Jor's hammer. Yes, Joe. Jor's hammer, not Thor's hammer. This is Jor's hammer. Yes. Yep. 88 sats, 15% off too. That's AI. Jimmy John, no, it's not. And that mindset is why you have a 400 credit score. Ouch. Yes. I wear hoodies and hats. He does wear hoodies and hats. But yeah, that was part 3 right there. We're going to get to part 4 in a minute, but we're going to spin the wheel first, ladies and gentlemen. And I do have Jor on the wheel this time. So let's see where we're at in the blocks. I made a mess here with Jor's hammer, not Thor's hammer, Jor's hammer. And Danielle's the winner. Oh, I went one ahead on the wheel. I did 433 for Danielle. So she went time. She spun in time. I went ahead of time. And there's Jor right here on the map. way up here. We love it. I definitely read that. Ask John, big money. Yes. I wear jingles and jangles. Don't say that because you remind me of Bojangles. I am so hungry right now. All right, let's do part 4. And again, I broke them up in little parts so we can regurgitate them real quick. So this is part 4 of the final episode of part 10.
It's failing. It's falling apart. Keynesianism won't work. To me, we're in the beginning stages of what.
The GOAT, by the way, Ron Paul, the absolute GOAT. Love him.
The system they have is failing. It's falling apart. Keynesianism won't work. To me, we're in the beginning stages of what happened to the Soviet system. We may be like at 1987 in the Soviet system, where 2 years later, 4 years later, it was gone. And that could happen to us. And as long as people will still...
No, I didn't spin it, Jor. I didn't even spin it. Do you tingle and tangle? Radio, yes. No, I didn't spin it because we're ahead of schedule.
Use the dollar, that's going to continue, but we're getting dangerously close, and the end stages of a currency system comes rapidly. So even though we've been slipping and sliding for 100 years, our dollar is now worth 2 cents over 100 years. That's pretty much of a crash, but it isn't a crash in the sense of going off a cliff. And I believe that history shows that currencies eventually can go off a cliff when a false confidence is just dissipated. And we have a confidence, but it's based on all false notions and maybe out of desperation, a lot of rigging. But anyway, it's still working. The dollar, although weaker as an international currency, still works. But that is what we, as a people, and not only the United States, around the world, have to fear, because it will affect the whole world when this comes. And this is why this issue, for me, is so important.
We are in big trouble, and there's just no way out. And I am sorry to say about that. And I love my country, and I'm sick to death about what's happening to it because of morons in government and a big bunch of morons in academia who let the Federal Reserve do what it did. It's all so simple. It could have all been prevented, but just by following the damn Constitution. Money shall only be silver and gold. How simple can it be? It's less than a dozen words. And all you got to do is follow that. Yeah, we have got a prayer. Only people who got a prayer are the people who are buying silver and gold today.
And Bitcoin. But that's facts. If we just went by what the Constitution said, we'd be good right now. But again, human beings are corrupted. If you had a money printer in your house, what would you do with it? You know? These people don't care about us, man. We know that.
You and me.
What amazes me are the stark similarities between ancient Rome and today. Once again, we're debasing the currency to pay for war, social programs, public works, while we keep the society placated with bread and circuses, football, sports, American Idol, Dancing with the Stars. Our government keeps on getting bigger as our military aspirations expand our empire. Congressman Ron Paul recently stated that we have over 900 military bases in 130 countries. That is an empire.
Yep, that's what it is right now. It's an empire, right? We were supposed to, when we declared our independence, like we read in the beginning with the great John F. Kennedy in that incredible document, we weren't supposed to be a huge, big monarchy or a king or whatever. You know, and the government was supposed to be small. It was supposed to be of the people, for the people, and by the people. Unfortunately, almost 250 years later, 248 and a half years later, we are a conglomerate. We're a big blob, right? This is an empire. We got 450 departments in our government. And that's too big. That's what Trump and Elon's trying to break down. But of course, they're fighting against them because they don't want the money printer to stop. The containers don't want it to stop. The bureaucrats, the politicians, the pro-China people, right? They want big government. It's crazy, man. Jerry, I'm rolling out. Good luck, everyone. Okay, brother. Thanks for stopping in, Rudy. Appreciate you, man.
And that brings us to one of the most dangerous parallels between ancient Rome and the USA, the excessive influence of the military on government. Rome's elite realized very early on that keeping the military happy was of the utmost importance if they were to either gain or stay in power. As a result, the military grew in size and attained high levels of leverage throughout politics. In today's USA, we spend trillions of dollars on our military, and it has grown into a behemoth. Much of the revolving door politics.
Yeah. Well, we don't spend trillions anymore, right? We only spend about 900 billion right now. Because the interest on the debt, we spend more than that. Now we've had spent trillions, especially during war times, especially during the search for the weapons of mass destruction, which we all know what's up with that. But yeah, it's crazy.
Mentioned earlier, comes as a result of the massive deficit spending that we pump into so-called national defense. Our country has become a war machine. We are on offense, not defense, and there is now an entire industry reliant on keeping things this way. And it's not as though we haven't been warned about this. In fact, alarm bells have been ringing for longer than 50 years. I'd like to show you part of a very important speech from the year 1961. President Eisenhower had just served 2 full terms in office, and he was just about to hand over the presidency to John F. Kennedy.
I want you to pay attention to this. This is one of the most historic speeches ever. And you talking about letting the cat out the bag, saying the quiet part out loud. Pay attention to this, man. Seriously.
Despite his own military background as a 5-star general and the supreme commander of the Allied forces in Europe during World War II, Eisenhower chose one of the most important moments of his presidency, his own farewell address to the nation, to warn America of the dangers of the corrupting influence of what he famously termed the military-industrial complex.
Until the latest of our world conflicts, the United States had no armaments industry. American makers of plowshares could, with time and as required, make swords as well. But we can no longer risk emergency improvisation of national defense. We have been compelled to create a permanent armaments industry of vast proportions. Added to this, 3.5 million men and women are directly engaged in the defense establishment. We annually spend on military security alone more than the net income of all United States corporations. Now, this conjunction of an immense military establishment and a large arms industry is new in the American experience. The total influence, economic, political, even spiritual, is felt in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government. We recognize the imperative need for this development, yet we must not fail to comprehend its grave implications. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Ding, 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 ladies and gentlemen. The military-industrial complex. The war machine. Republicans used to be in charge of it with George Bush and the warmongers and the neocons here in this country. Again, weapons of mass destruction, everybody. Iraq war. Now what do we have now? Ukraine to fight for their democracy, right? Sending money to Israel. Meanwhile, our people on our streets are hurting and everything else. We just got to keep sending. We got to keep sending money to Ukraine. Why? Ukraine has nothing to do with us whatsoever. Nothing. But the Democrats want us to keep going. They want to paint Russia as the bad guy. Why is that, ladies and gentlemen? They getting kickback. Nikki Haley, Nikki the neocon Haley. I told you about her during the presidential election. She's the biggest warmonger ever. Lindsey Graham, he's a Republican too. All Democrats now are for this military-industrial complex, this war machine. And he's saying the quiet part out loud, ladies and gentlemen. He's saying it out loud.
The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists.
I am an American, Mike, and there's a lot of criticism of our country and where it's been and where it's going, and I'm part of that group. I use a phrase picked up from Chalmers Johnson called sorrows of empire. And what he points out is that when you have what I call forever wars, and that seems to be what's happening since 9/11.
Yep. Now, during this period, from 2001 until about 2019 or 20, this stuff was going on, right? 2014, all this stuff was going on, man. And Trump's the only one who wants to stop it, by the way. And they hate him for it. Thank God for Trump. Speaking of Trump, thank God for Trump and good people running the show now. This BS is coming to an end. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. But we can put gangbangers in hotels and feed them. Preach, Joe. Preach. Illegal immigrant gangbangers, mind you. You know that. Every war is a banker war. Yes, 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 Jor. Yep. You think any of this stuff helps us? You really think they're out here, quote unquote, trying to defend democracy around the world and protect America? Do you really think that? Of course not.
Wars in Afghanistan and Iraq and Libya, add in Yemen still today, on top of disruptions everywhere. These wars are expensive. We've never had the stand down of our armies. And at the same time, the extended powers of the government have taken away a lot of our personal freedoms.
Ding, ding, ding again. What do you say? Wars are expensive. Obviously, number one is lives lost. Obviously, for our young men and women out there. That's number one. Okay. Hands down by far. But number two is expensive. Why? Because they print the money to do it. EB, Blackwater did such bad deeds. They need to change the name to, yes. Yeah. Wars are expensive, meaning we don't have the money to do it, so we just print the money. And who gets hurt in the back end? Us. Real shit, raping women and little girls, and the left want to keep them, but don't want to help who fought for us. It is a shame. It is a shame, Joe. Yes. Meaning, like you just said, all the stuff going on with the raping and the sex you-know-whatin' and the child you-know-whatin' and all this stuff. Meanwhile, we got military veterans on the streets. And the illegals get to walk right past them and get hotel rooms and food stamps and all kind of stuff. But the military-industrial complex, if we had a sound money like Bitcoin, they wouldn't be able to do this. I am in the camp where I think if Bitcoin was here, it would literally defund wars. Right? There's no incentive anymore if the money is broken. It's all about power and control. And whoever has the most Bitcoin is going to have the most power and control. But if you fix the money and fix the world, it will bring peace. Because we won't have enough Satoshis or quote unquote Bitcoin or money or whatever they call it in the future to fund these damn wars. But when you can print the dollars and send them all over the world and then fund this endless war machine, aka the military-industrial complex, then it'll never stop. And this is one of the number one reasons why I support Bitcoin. Seriously.
So publicly in the NSA revelations from Snowden, but we as people were built on a country with mild government, restrictions on what the government can do.
You hear him sneak in Snowden? Snowden is the man.
The constitutional sources. So you combine wars, personal freedom loss, and a control of us through the deceptions. And you've got a system that feeds on itself and we can't afford. $1.2 trillion if you add the spooks, the hidden parts, the veterans, the energy departments, nuclear operations for weapons all together, and a bit of interest on the debt. It's almost half our budget that we spend on this military. And that's not a good direction. I hope we could go to more peace and avoid the sorrows of empire.
Can you imagine all those people that died for no reason? Look at all those names, man. Died for no reason, right? And like you said, it ain't just the military, because we do need a military. And I don't mind spending money on military. Don't get me wrong. There is a lot of bloat in the Pentagon and in the military. But like you said, a lot of that interest comes from the military-industrial complex from borrowing and printing the money. That's where it's at. What's up, Alex? You back? Good, honey. We just learned about the corrupt system. And a lot of that debt that we owe and the interest on that debt is because of the military-industrial complex. Make things that people like MLK went through for nothing at all in the Fed. Exactly, Joe. All that work that man put in, right? And those people in the 60s. Good point, Joe. That's a great point. 59,000. It's crazy, man.
They're too expensive. And when you spend $1.2 trillion on your military, the effects are destructive on your economy. In other words, the supposed spending for strengthening our country on military is destroying our economy.
When we were in Rome, it was to see how a great society, a great empire, can completely collapse and fade into history because of debt.
All right, Curtis. Good night, man. Thanks for coming in, brother. Appreciate you.
Deficit spending and currency debasement, because of all the things that the U.S. is doing today, because they were trying to fund these armies that are occupying foreign lands just like the U.S. is doing today, because they were trying to have bread and circuses, what we call guns and butter, while they were funding all of this war. And all the deficit spending and currency debasement to pay for it is one of the key factors in what brought Rome down. And this great civilization faded into history. And not only that, but They lost for a long time. The technologies were lost. All the knowledge and insight that they had. The standard of living. I mean, we were plunged into the dark ages.
The system they have is fake.
Exactly. Danielle's out of here. Good night, everyone. Good night, Danielle. Thanks for coming in, young lady. We appreciate you. Let's see where we're at. Let me take Danielle off too. It's past your bedtime over there on the East Coast. That's why I like that map too. I can know where everybody's at. Good night, Danielle. My mom struggled till the end. She passed because of her quote unquote medical insurance. Oh man. Sorry to hear that, Joe. Your grandma struggled to the day she passed because of her medical insurance. Yeah. Sorry about that, bro. It's just crazy. Later, Curtis. Yeah. It's just sad, man. All right, so we're going to spin for 434, and then we're going to get into the last part of the installment of episode 10. So let's spin this wheel, and let's get this money. I put you back on the wheel too, Alex. Wheel of Satoshi. Joe's the winner. Joe is the winner. Congratulations, sir. Let's Joe, let's remind everyone to we got some free links in the description box. Maybe in the description box, but make sure you guys sign up with Ember. This is a free Satoshi app that you can mine Satoshis every hour on the hour and get them for free. So make sure you use a link down there in the description box below. And then also you can use S-Miles, earn sats just for walking. Seriously. Which is great. And then all the other links down there below to get you some free Satoshis. And again, because they're not going to be giving them out much longer. Seriously. Free Luigi. Bye, D. Woohoo. Woohoo. My man. Send him to Luigi and Prince Joke. Send him to Corey. Okay, cool. Corey, congratulations for all your advertisement of this channel. Joe appreciates you. He sends you some sats. So let's watch the final part. And this is the conclusion of episode number 10 of The Hidden Secrets of Money, the conclusion.
Out of this story that is rarely heard or explained. To me, what you're about to learn is something that absolutely cements the importance of sound money and how it is foundational to a prosperous society. As Rome was struggling in the late 4th century, Emperor Flavius Theodosius divided the Roman Empire into 2 parts, each to be ruled by one of his own sons. The Western Roman Empire kept Rome as its capital. Economically, it was soon crippled beyond salvation by the repetition of the misguided monetary practices you've learned about in these episodes, and it's generally considered by historians to have fallen around the year 476 AD. While the Western Empire crumbled, the Eastern Empire flourished for a further 1,000 years. Its capital was Constantinople, known today as Istanbul. The Eastern Empire changed their official language to Greek, and even though their own people at the time referred to themselves as being part of the Roman Empire, today we know them by a different name, the Byzantine Empire. So why did the Western Roman Empire fall while the East flourished? I believe a major part of the answer is contained in 2 simple words: sound money. The Byzantine Empire based their monetary system on a coin originally minted on a small scale by our friend Emperor Diocletian. It was called the solitas. It weighed just 4.5 grams, or 1/7 of an ounce, and was made of pure gold. The Byzantine rulers had learned from their own history, and they made a conscious choice to avoid the continual pattern of debasement that Rome had suffered from, with amazing results. They defended the purity of the solitas for a further 600 years, until 1034, when, you guessed it, the same old story started to play out. The debasement of the solitas was gradual at first, but it soon accelerated, and the coin was eliminated less than 60 years later in 1092. A new
That's called hyper inflation, ladies and gentlemen. You debased it so much, boom, it was gone. That's what they say that's going to happen to the U.S. dollar. I don't know about that. I think we're going to be the last one to go because obviously there's a premium on top of being the global world reserve currency. But hopefully before that, we'll be on a Satoshi standard and we can back every single quote unquote dollar or digital dollar behind a Satoshi. That's my dream. And that's why I'm working hard to do this. And thank you guys so much for joining me and helping me complete my mission.
The gold coin, the Hippopyron, was issued in place of the Solitas, and its purity was maintained at 85% gold until the early 1200s, until it too was debased. By the 1350s, it had no gold content at all and served merely as a unit of account. Is it a coincidence that this time period matches that of the decline of the Byzantine Empire? It's impossible to say for sure, but I'd like to say once again that I believe that the quality of a society is direct.
That is not a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, you got to have sound money to build on top of an economy. You just have to. You know what I mean? That was not a coincidence. If our dollar fell, we'd be done. Done. Happy to ride with you, Jerry. I'm happy to ride with you too, Ian. I go to war and battle with you guys anytime, man. We're soldiers against this war. In this war, we really are. Thank you for saying that, Ian.
Directly proportional to the quality of its money. There are many factors that all contributed to the fall of Rome. But in these episodes, I wanted to draw your attention primarily to the economics. Because when you study monetary history, two things become crystal clear. The first is that bureaucratic, managed economies always lead to disaster. And the second is that monetary debasement brings the fall of empires.
So could this same pattern of currency debasement that we have seen time and time again throughout history happen to the United States? Take a look.
Clean and Ian. That's what he calls you. Clean and Ian. I love it. Joe says, yes, we ride together. We die together. Bitcoiners for life. Yes. Tori, I knew a girl who used to sell seashells down by the seashore. Yes. Yes.
Around. It's happening right now. But the big difference this time is that it's like all those other times in history, times a million. This time it's global. But what concerns me most isn't the loss of our financial wealth. It's the loss of our freedom. All of this meddling in the free markets that they have done and the price that we are going to pay because of that meddling is going to cause a loss in confidence in the free market system and capitalism. We don't have free markets, and we haven't had since 1913. You cannot have free markets if you don't have free market money. The currency is 50% of every transaction there is in society, and if you have a small group of men at the central bank having a meeting each month, in the United States it's called the Open Market Committee, the FOMC, deciding how much currency there's going to be in the system and what the cost of that currency is, the interest rates, that's a manipulated market by definition. You've got to.
That's manipulation, absolutely. Again, a group of people, the FMOC, getting together and say, well, how much money we're going to print this year? How much stuff are we going to do on people's savings accounts and their ability to purchase? How much are we going to debase the currency? I don't know. What do you want to do? This is why I love... Exactly, Jor. FOMC can get them out of here. FOMC can GTFO. Right? Again, Bitcoin... This system is the antithesis of this. You think a group of men are getting together, figuring out how many Satoshis are going to be mined every 10 minutes? It's already set. It's set in stone, ladies and gentlemen, and we know it. This is why you got to grab as many of these as you can, man. I love hanging out with you guys. Thank you, Jerry, for letting me be part of your life, your channel, and the family. Oh, man, no problem. Thank you so much for helping me, man. Love having you, man. Your passion, your knowledge, everything you're doing for me. I appreciate you, bro. Seriously. But we're in this together, guys. You know what I mean? Some people are going to get into this thing that don't understand it. And this is what we need to do, right? We're the franchise players. We need to teach these people, man. I always say this. Bitcoiners are mini economists and political experts, And it's crazy. These guys at the FOMC are determining what your dollar is going to be worth when you spend it. It is this is criminal, man. Absolutely criminal.
A few people deciding what it's going to be. That's 50% of every transaction. Therefore, there is no transaction in this society that isn't manipulated. So we don't have, when people say that the free markets are failing, we do not have free markets. When people say that capitalism is failing, we don't have capitalism. We've got cronyism. We've got special favors being granted by Congress to the people that lobby them, and it skews the economy and warps the economy and creates all of these artificial bubbles that end up popping, and then everybody loves living in a bubble, so they just want the Fed to create the next one.
Yep. How can you have a free market and have capitalism if the market's not free and it's owned by somebody else, and the capital that you have is getting debased, and the politicians are doing doing the quote unquote political decisions they're making based on what another man's paying them and how much they're printing and their own personal gain. That's a broken system, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Put Powell in jail, end the Fed, and make Sats world currency. In that order, by the way, Joe. Love it, man. Exactly. This is not capitalism when your capital's screwed up.
What's happening in Washington doesn't indicate that all of a sudden they're going to gain in wisdom and make the tough choices, which is sort of like getting somebody off drugs, and people don't want to quit the drugs. And our system is based on debt and inflation, and they're not going to wean themselves off. So we have to.
That's Jor. Jor says, sounds like Trump is very close to ending the Fed. I hope you're right, Jor. I think that's one of the reasons me and Joe were talking about this earlier. This is one of the reasons the dollar is collapsing today, because a lot of people, when are worried about the quote unquote power of the dollar, when Trump announced that he's, because he planted a seed saying that Jerome Powell is slow. And if he wants him to leave, he will leave if Trump wants him to leave. So obviously, just because Jerome Powell leaving, because he's not the head of he's not the Fed itself. He just runs the Fed. He'll put somebody in there. Trump will put somebody in there that's obviously pro-Trump and pro lowering interest rates. But we'll see. I hope you're right, Jor. Yes, A said, Ray, me and Jerry were just talking about the subject. Yeah. Yep. I don't know if he'll end it, but he'll get someone in that he can control. Yeah, exactly. This guy's my doppelganger, man. That's really good. Finishes my sentences for me. But it's true. We're in an environment right now that we need to lower the interest rates, and he's not doing it. Jerome Powell is either really, really stupid, he's bought and paid for, or he's ran by another party, aka the Democrats. And I said this at the end of the fiscal year of 2024, when we were in a high inflation environment. What did he do? He lowered the interest rates by 50 bips. He did that. Why would you do that in that environment? Right? There's only one reason you do it. Either you're stupid or you're trying to help the Democrats. Because what happens when you lower the interest rates? Money gets cheaper, right? Yeah, that would be very cheap. That would be very nice. But now that inflation is going down in this environment, he's not lowering the interest rates and he's keeping them the same. Again, make that make sense to me, ladies and gentlemen. When the quote unquote election was going on and Kamala Harris, because again, they lied to everybody. They told us inflation was transitory. Everything was fine, right? Joe Biden's doing a good job. Nothing to see here. Kamala Harris is the next coming. She's the best woman in the world. And they try to lower the interest rates to make sure that Kamala Harris, in my personal opinion, YouTube, can lower the inflation. He will destroy the Fed by printing money and issuing new treasury dollar that people will flock to and deem the FRNs worthless. Maybe, brother. What time are we going live on Friday for the viewers? And Powell works for the Rothschild family. My thoughts. Yeah. We're going live on Fridays, Fat Zap Fridays at 4 o'clock your time, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific. I'm still on the East Coast time in my head. So, Treasury backed dollar backed by Biddy and gold. Yeah, hard money. Yep. Yeah. And Jerome Powell at this point, and again, with China, I believe, YouTube, selling off the U.S. Treasury bonds, the Wall Street nuts up there selling off Treasury bonds, all these multi-millionaire, billionaire Democrats selling off Treasury bonds. What's that do to the Treasury? To the Treasury bond? Makes the yields do what? Right? So they want the dollar to crash, quote unquote, to make it look scary, to put pressure on Trump. But we know. But what do we know exactly? We're just idiots. We're just the village idiots, Jor. We don't know nothing. We're just some little Bitcoiners out here. I love doing this show, but every time I talk about this, it's like I loved, yes, conspiracy theorists, sure, exactly. I loved it was better when I didn't know this stuff, right? And I'm not saying I know everything. It's just I'm learning. I learned from Jor, I learned from Joe, I learned from Corey and Mia and everybody on here. I learned from all you guys. I'm not the end all be all. I don't know shit. I don't know anything. But here's what I do know, that we were lied to. Flat out.
Anticipate there's going to be a major collapse, but then the big question is, are we going to have a greater move toward totalitarianism and give up all our freedom, or are we going to say we still have a spirit left in this country to say, yes, we overstretched and we know what the alternative could be and we can build a much better society?
Milton Friedman, the great economist, once said, when government, in pursuit of good intentions, tries to rearrange the economy, legislate morality, or help special interests, the cost comes at inefficiency, lack of innovation, and loss of freedom. Government should be a referee, not an active player. In the United States, government has gone way too far.
Sometimes I think Milton Friedman built Bitcoin. Sometimes the ghost of Milton Friedman. This man is the absolute GOAT, man. I listen to him all the time. He's so freaking knowledgeable, man. Love Milton Friedman.
It is proven, beyond a shadow of a doubt, time after time throughout history, that managed economies do not work. Free markets have always won, and they have always provided a higher standard of living. When people cry out for the government to do something about it, they're asking for the government to manage the economy. They are asking for the government to lower their standard of living. Ultimately, what you get is the USSR or Mao's China. That is what a managed economy brings you.
And this is what these Democrats want, right? Now, people don't know any better. They want free stuff, right? Whoever is spending the time learning are the kings of tomorrow. Yep. Managed economy is not natural. Nature always wins. Exactly. We will run this world. Just get out of our way, right? This is why the Democrats want a bigger government, because for people that don't know any better, they think they're getting free stuff, and they're going towards Marxism, socialism, and communism. That's what they're doing. That's what it is. They want what do they want? The oligarchies, they say. AOC and Bernie Sanders, which again, the Democrat Party is literally an oligarchy. People, who the hell uses that word anyways? Besides us, who knows what an oligarchy is? Again, there are more millionaires and billionaires in the Democrat Party, right? Donald Trump got out spent by Kamala Harris by double, right? She got $1 billion something. He didn't get that much. So again, the Democrats are an oligarchy. All you got to do is, you want to know what the Democrats are doing, just listen to what they say about what Trump is doing, and that's exactly what they're doing. Everything they accuse Trump of, they're literally doing the exact thing they say that he's doing. They gave out STEM checks and raise your taxes, LMFO. Yep. I was saying this in 2021. I made a video saying that don't give us any stimulus checks. Just don't let us pay taxes for 3 to 5 years. And that'll help. Again, because that won't expand the money supply, and then we won't pay taxes, and that'll help. Right? But they can't do that. They gaslit 24/7. Yep. Taxes are ghetto. Absolutely. And theft. And that's what the Democratic Party is all about, right? Socialism, communism, Marxism. They don't want this stuff. They don't want this gravy train to stop. They want it to keep going.
It's time for you to take action. It's time for you to get educated on this, to find out more, and then to voice your opinion, to make yourself heard.
If we want changes in the economy and changes in our monetary system, change in our foreign policy, the people have to speak out and decide that they want to change, and they have to make it very clear to the politicians that that's what they expect. And matter of fact, that's one area where I tend to be more optimistic, because I think the people are learning with the work that you've done and others. They're learning something about monetary policy. But the most important thing is that people understand the nature of freedom and the role of government, and money being a major part of all that.
George says, I would bet $1 million sats that Trump will save, quote unquote, no taxes for at least a year within his term. And then it will become permanent. Anyone want to take that bet? No, I don't want to take that bet. I believe you. Will save no tax for at least a year within his term. He's going to back it up too, Jor, with the tariffs, because that's what he wants. He wants to collect income from tariffs and stop the income tax from people. I completely agree with that, by the way. Yeah, you won't take my money. Don't blame the quote unquote as they are sick. The goose heads, the duck heads. Yeah. And Doge. Yep. Yep.
So now that we've seen the economics of the fall of Rome, it's time to take a look at the options in front of us for the USA. Will we choose more debasement, more war, more intrusive government, more cronyism and special interests, more taxation and regulation, and less freedom? Or will we choose sound money, stable foreign policy, restrained government, a level playing field of fair laws for everyone, sensible taxation and regulation, and maximum freedom? I want to thank you for watching this series and for sharing these videos with your friends and family.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. That was the last part of The Hidden Secrets of Money. Great, great series, man. I'm so glad I got the chance to watch that again. I tell people all the time, books and documentaries and stuff like that are like really good old friends. As you grow and you become more wiser, smarter, more knowledgeable about a particular subject, always go back to old books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, old, different documentaries and things like that, and check them out. And again, the first time I watched that was in 2020, and I'm watching it now in 2025, and I just, I've learned a lot over the last 4.5, 5 years. So we're all caught up with the spins right now. I already did 434, so we're all caught up with that. But stay tuned tomorrow, guys, for the next episode. Now we're done with that. I'm gonna do Ray Dalio's little 45-minute video he did called The Changing World Order. I may break that in 2 parts, maybe. That was a great little animation thing. I learned so much from that, and he's going to be talking about a lot about China and that. And he's a Bitcoiner, but he doesn't talk about Bitcoin with it. But he definitely has a lot to do with Bitcoin in the big scheme of things. And it talks about the fourth turning and everything, because we're in the fourth turning right now. We'll watch the fourth turning too. So again, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming in. Stay tuned tomorrow at the same time. We will be here, same channel, same bat channel, same time. But again, this is why we Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. I love each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Really, really appreciate you guys. And just like the great Mike Maloney said, we don't have a free market if the market is broken like this, right? And it can't be capitalism when the capital's broken. And obviously, this system is definitely broken, and it's bad. So let's see what the trolls got to say. I think you played the 10-part series because the guy last name rhymes with baloney, and you think that he was going to have a part where he discusses the origins of baloney. No, the troll. That's not why I did it. So this situation here. Thanks, Jerry. Thank you, Ian. I appreciate you. Clean and Ian. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I love you, man. You're a real man, brother. Doge is up to 344 billion, according to this. I don't know if that's true or not. He wants to take $1 trillion off the spending, and again, all this is estimated. It'd probably be more, maybe less, more. I don't know. Can he do it? Can Doge and Elon do it? I don't know. But if we were in another system, we wouldn't have to worry about it. We wouldn't have to worry about overspending and trying to keep the deficit down and close it down. I think we'd be at a surplus with this new money. I really do. And this new money is the only way to go. See y'all tomorrow. Same place, same back channel. Yes. Thank you, Jay. Have a great night, everyone. No problem. And if we were on this new money, hey, everyone, I'm looking for the haters ball. Is this it? No, Jimmy John. It's not it. Tori, Ed Detroit, I think you smell like baloney. By the way, that's how you spell it. And you guys are too funny. And this broken system here at the top with the 36.7 trillion. Again, we know what the 0.7 is. After the 36 trillion is $700 billion. $700 billion. And for what? You know what I mean? You owe $107,000 personally because you went to school, got good grades, went to a good college, worked 40 hours for 40 years. And somebody just gave me 2,500 sats. Thank you, Clean Your Machine. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, man. Love you, brother. Thank you. Little extra sats, my friend. See you tomorrow. Peace. Thank you, man. See you. Love you, Alex. And good night, Joe. And we see this. The deficit at $2 trillion, meaning we're spending $2 trillion more than we make. Can you imagine that, guys? Can you do that? Can you make $50,000 a year and spend $70,000 a year? No, you can't. And borrow your way out of it and print and have a money counterfeiter in your house? Because if you did that, you'd go to jail. Right? Look at the interest on the debt. $1 trillion down there in the bottom right-hand corner. We're paying more in interest on that 36.7 than we are in our defense. And this is evil. This is evil. And again, there's only one way, guys, to stop this this evilness and break the wheel and get out of this system. There's only one way to do that, guys. And if you've been paying attention, I'm pretty sure you guys already know what that is. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I'll see you tomorrow. I love each and every one of you. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.